Hello, how are we, people? I know I set this stream up very late, so I understand if a lot of you are doing other stuff, but if you're on replay, hello and welcome. Please make sure you like and subscribe. That would be very beneficial. Thank you very much. How are we on this? I was going to say fine Monday, but it's not a fine Monday. It's a Monday, and we do not like Mondays here. We do not like them. So yeah, what's happening? Tell me in the chat. You're a bit quiet. I mean, there's a few people here, but as I say, I understand that this stream was set up very late today. Oh, I just got a notification to say I'm live. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice of me to send myself a notification. That is always good. Right, let me do this then. Whilst we wait for people to come in and inundate the chat, I will just set things up here. And we have our first bitch in the chat. I mean, we got first person in the chat. How are you doing, Lady Di? Nice to see you. Do you know what? I have not. I know you've sent me an email. I'll be honest with you, I've not checked it. I will check it though. So apologies. It's there. The reason I've not checked is because as soon as I go into it, I won't. It's one of those things. If I go into it and don't respond or don't look at it, then I'll forget about it. At least now it's highlighted at the top, and I will look at it when I can. So, good morning, Rhonda. How are you, my darling? Nice to see your face as always. Always polite to Rhonda because Rhonda's always nice to me. You see, so there you go. I'm done with these lads. It was short. That's what all the ladies say when they ask, "How was it?" It was short. That's fine. I will look at it. It's just one thing after another. I'm just yeah, but I will definitely. You know, I always do look at them. But I have this habit. If I don't look at this straight away, or like I mean, oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I will. I acknowledge I have received it. Is basically what I'm saying. How was everyone's weekend anyway? Was it all good? Was it all gravy, baby, and all that? Um, so I have got something here. There you go. Rondell was nice. Let's chat. Yeah. Excuses like a typical man. You have no life like me. I know. Nah, it's all good. No, it's all good because I got my. Obviously, I've got my other channel as well. I'm trying to do that work, which I'm loving that, but it's a struggle to balance everything. So mine was good, Rhonda. Mine was okay. Thank you, my darling. It was okay. Just I'm waiting for my new phone to come in. I got my old phone. I'm waiting for my new phone to come in, and I hope to start walking a little bit more. Um, in good news, lost weight again this week, which is good. It was nearly 2 pounds I lost this week, just gone, which is good. I am losing weight, which is always good, but I need to start. I don't feel healthy, so I need to start walking. So I'm hoping to get once my new phone arrives, which they said 14 working days, which is bullshit, if you ask me. Then I'm hoping to do some more walk and talks. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm supposed to get the 5G, which should give me better signal. So if that's the case, I can walk further afield. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see how that works because I need motivation to go out and walk. But yeah, I am losing weight, which is I'm very happy about that. I need to lose weight, so I'm very happy that. And I've been sticking at it. I've been doing it since January, basically, and yeah, I think now I've lost. Trying to guess here now. I started there for, I think it's about £26. I've lost now. So awesome. Thank you, Rhonda. Always a true supporter. Where is the phone shipping from within your country? Yeah, somewhere in England. I don't get it. So it's supposed to be next day delivery type of thing, I thought. If I went into the store, I could get it on the same day, but that means I have to talk to people, which is why I don't want to do that. But so what's annoying is this, right? And I'll have a little bit of a grumble here whilst we wait for Sarah P because she's late. So I went online and I got the iPhone 16 Plus. The iPhone 17 was a bit too expensive, so I have to be a little bit careful. The 16 is still expensive, but still it's a little bit less. So I ordered it. Then the next day, I get a message saying, "Oh, you need to confirm your order." So I was like, "Fuck's sakes, fine." So I went in, confirmed it. So I was talking to this automated bot, and they're like, "Oh, this is your phone." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I ordered. Can you confirm this?" And she's doing the contract thing on the screen, and it had like a those watching Apple Watch stuff, um, and in it was this offer. Get your Apple Watch for $35 a month or something. It's like £24. So say 30 odd dollars a month over 2 years. And I just responded saying, "Yeah, that's my contract." And I said, "Bye." And she goes, "Hang on." And the bot, it's obviously, I'm not sure what's a bot. So, hang on. Do you want this? Do you want this watch? I was like, "No. If I wanted the watch, I would have fucking booked it." They offered me this when I went to actually place the order. So if I wanted it, I would have ordered it then. Why re-pushing it for me? And I had to go through the whole process again. It was just so complicated. It's like the days used to be you go in, you press the button, and then you book it, you order it, and it's done. But nowadays, no, you have to book it, you confirm it, then they send you a message out, you have to reconfirm it, and then try to upsell you other stuff. I was like, I don't want to buy other stuff. If I wanted to buy the stuff, I would have ordered it when I ordered the phone. So I asked, why? How long will it take? Thinking she'd say 2 days or one day, 14 days. But they've sent me out a bag to put my old phone into to send back. But I'm like, I'm not sending my old phone back. I got a deadline, I think, of like, anyway, in like 2 weeks. So I believe that I'm going to get my new phone before I have to send my old phone back. So I it's all so confusing. It's just like it used to be you go in, you book it, you order it, next day you got it. Happy days. Now it's like and now they say, "Oh, you need to wipe your data, you need to wipe off your nudes, you need to wipe off your location settings, you need to restart." It's like fucking hell. It sounds like a full-time job. I only want a new phone. Jeepers. Here she is. She's here finally. Better late than never, Sarpi. How are you doing, Sarpi? Hope you're doing well. There you go. If you'd like to support the channel, let me pin it. Where's it gone? The best way to support the channel is PayPal or buy me a coffee. But essentially, the best way to support the channel is through coffee. Help me pay for my new phone every month. Buy me a coffee because I bought a new phone because of you fuckers. I'm not late. You're too early. There you go. Thank you very much. Did you answer my question or are you just blabbing? I fucking answered your question, you bitch. Um, they've been trying to give me a free Apple Watch for months. I'm like you. If I wanted an Apple Watch, I would get one. Yeah, and It's like all these offers. Oh, do you want this offer? It's like, great. Oh, it's free for 3 months, and then all of a sudden you have to pay $1,000 a month after that for stuff. So I don't get it. It's bullshit. There you go. Thank you. Subscribe to my new channel if you haven't done so. Like you don't look. Yeah, I know they keep track of everything. Hello, Bowl. Boloschetti. I love that. Boloschetti, how are you, Bowl? Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. Right. You're not here to hear me whinge. So, oh well, you may well be. So, I'm not going to do a long stream. So there's a new case, a new trial started Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to start, if I'm going to do it or not. I don't know. I'm not in the mood, if I'm being honest with you. So, but I don't remember this case. You guys might remember it, but I don't remember it. I may remember it once I read this. I've not read this at all. So this is Suzanne Simpson. She is missing and she's believed to be dead. Your drink looks nuclear and you go. My drink is electrolytes. It's Gatorade that. Hang on. So they're these zero glacier freeze. That's why I try and drink one a day of these. I bought them back from Boston. With me because we can't get these in the UK. They're super expensive. So I bought like 12 packs back from Boston. They're they're like, I think 5 calories, zero sugar with Gatorade electrolytes. So I love it. It does look nuclear though, you're right. But I do love it. So I don't want a fucking watch. No, I don't. I have an iPhone, Apple Watch, but I never wear it. Probably you did an outline of it. I did. It's a long fucking piece though, but it's like uh, uh 13 slides. Oops. But it goes into it. I mean, I didn't do much work in it, if I'm being honest with you. I just obviously took it from other places. But I mean, I did have to download all the pictures and all that stuff. So, yo, how are you, Marky? Hope you're doing well, brother. I'm getting to where I don't even want a phone anymore. What? How are you going to do your OnlyFans then if you don't have a phone? I thought you did your OnlyFans on your phone. Uh, Apparently, Christine. Hello, Christine. It's supposedly starting Thursday, but I don't know if it's jury selection Thursday or whether the actual thing starts Thursday. But allegedly, it starts this Thursday. But I think that might be just jury selection, so I don't know. I don't even know if it's going to be streamed. I presume it will be. Yeah, I know. I know. Those are delicious. I love them. I've got about 4 packs left. I'm gonna miss them when I finish them. Oh, you got a laptop for the OnlyFans? Sorry, fine. I thought it was on your phone. So whenever I watch you on, it seems you're always on your phone. But hello, Dave. Hope you're doing well. Dave is my number one fan on my football channel. He's always commenting. I love Dave when he comments. A new mock draft. I gave you different pick for the Bears this time, Dave. So I just try and mix it up a little bit. Where is this case? San Antonio, I believe. Oh, I'll start it. I'll show you now, right? So here we go. Anyway, let me get my version up because I'll tell you why I can't see that and I can't make it bigger. That's what she said. So, um, okay, hang on. Right. I think Colorado, isn't Colorado the other one? The what's it called? Colorado, I believe, is the one. Morphew, Barry Morphew, I think. Barry Morphew is, I believe, the Colorado one. Right. Let me get this up here then. I've got to make this smaller so I can still see the charts. But I can get my copy up here. If I can do this. Oh crap, hang on. I need to make this slightly smaller. I can't. How do I do that? Oh, this is a nightmare. Bear with me, people, whilst I try and figure out what I am doing right now. Hello, how are we doing, Jennifer? Nice to see you. To see you, nice. How are we? Oh man, sorry, people. Let me just get this. Um, fuck, Bex is here. Shit. Right, hang on. Right, I need to try and do it this way then. Can I do it this way? Because I got it. I got it. Shit, I'm such a dummy. I got it. It was a different place. That's why. It was in a different place. That's fine. That's my bad. That's my bad. How are we doing, Bex? I can't lie and say I'm happy to see you, but still. Right. So right, I got my copy here because I can't see the screen, it's too small. So I'll read my copy out. So this is Suzanne. So Sunday, October 6th, the couple, they're married with 4 children. The couple attended a party at the Argyle, a private dinner club on Patterson Avenue in Alamo Heights. Does that help you, Sarah P? I'm so happy to see Bex here today. You see, I can't lie. Almost Park Police Chief Fidel Villegas said the couple fought at the event. Brad Simpson claimed that his wife lost her cell phone whilst at her local HEB. Minutes after leaving the party, Suzanne Simpson is seen at a local HEB with her young daughter, according to an affidavit. So this is October 6th, 2024, I believe. After leaving HEB, I don't know what HEB is. I don't know what HEB is. Josie might be able to tell us. Hello, Josie. How are you doing, my darling? Nice to see you. You see, I can be nice, Bex. Grocery store. I told you, didn't I? I told you. Josie knew. She's a fucking nosy bitch. She knows everything. Right. After leaving the HEB at 9:15 p.m., Suzanne called a family friend and went to their house. Around 9:16 p.m., she also called her mother to say that Brad Simpson had just assaulted her. So, okay, so 9:16, she phoned her mother to say that her husband just assaulted her. Oh, thank you. Never heard of it. Thank you, Sarah P. Authorities later learned that Suzanne Simpson's cell phone was suspended at the request of a subscriber at around 9:16 on October the 6th, and this is on Sunday, October the 6th, contradicting Brad Simpson's initial statement that she lost her phone at HEB, the affidavit states. So he says he lost it at HEB, but now we know that was a lie because she called her mother after being at the store. It is unclear when Suzanne Simpson returned to their friend's home. The neighbour told police that between 10 to 11 p.m. he heard an argument outside his window, his bedroom window, that became louder and seemed closer to his window. When the neighbour looked out his window, he saw the Simpsons in a physical altercation. An arrest warrant affidavit stated. He said Suzanne Clark Simpson was trying to get away from Brad Simpson as he tried to pull her down. It appeared Brad Simpson was clearly attempting to keep Miss Simpson from running away, the neighbour told authorities according to the affidavit. So you'll see there's 3 points here. You've got the Argyle, where they were originally that evening. They got the original search location, and they got the Simpson residence there. She's very attractive, you're right, Rhonda. So those are the 3 locations, essentially, you can see there. The neighbour told authorities he last saw the couple heading westbound. The neighbour went outside to investigate, and a short time later, he heard 2 to 3 screams from a brushy area east of his home, the affidavit states. About an hour later, the neighbour saw Brad Simpson start his black GMC pickup truck and leave his house. The neighbour told authorities he saw Brad Simpson return 1 to 2 hours later. The neighbour did not call the police, but told them the account he was questioned at a later date. Hey, Jonathan, missing wife trial. Time for tense, biased opinions, fighting facts. Well, it's not looking good at the minute. Like, he's obviously innocent unless proven guilty, but the affidavit is not shining a good light on him so far. Monday, October the 7th, 2024. The last activity on Suzanne Simpson's phone was around 7:15 a.m., according to police. The coordinates showed the phone was in a business parking lot in Olmos Park. Brad Simpson's murder warrant states that on morning of October 7th, he dropped off his young child at school, and the bed of his truck contained at least 2 white trash bags and a large ice chest. On 9:15 a.m., Brad Simpson went to a Whataburger. Never tried a Whataburger. I do need to try a Whataburger. I never tried it In-N-Out either. So I saw a video of Matt Moore, and they were framing the whole video like he was some murderer that got off. He got off free, pissed me off. Dude was innocent. Yes, 100% he was innocent. I agree with you, Jonathan. But these people are trash when they do stuff like that. So he went to Whataburger at 9:15 a.m. and the bed of his truck contained 3 white trash bags, a large heavy-duty trash can, a nice chest, and a large bulky item wrapped and secured in a blue tarp, the affidavit states. So around 9:53 a.m., location, they appointed Brad Simpson at the Home Depot. Never been to Home Depot either. I've been to Dick's. I've been to many Dick's. In Bourne, where video surveillance showed he purchased 2 bags of cement, a construction bucket with a lid, a box of 32-ounce heavy-duty trash bags, 1 bottle of Clorox disinfectant spray, and insect repellent, according to the affidavit. Okay. I mean, that sentence there, if that's all true, that does not look good. Obviously. But there might be some answers to that. While in the parking lot of the Home Depot, he asked a man for direction to the nearest dump in Bourne, the affidavit states. After leaving the store, Brad Simpson intentionally placed his phone in lockdown mode after he spoke with a man in the parking lot, the affidavit states. At some point, Brad Simpson's truck was seen leaving the waste site in Bourne. He then headed to a gas station in Bourne and bought 2-gallon jugs of water, according to the affidavit. So this is all from the affidavit. Surveillance footage showed the trash bags were no longer in the bed of the truck, but he still had the blue tarp, firewood rack, and trash can. He had also changed his shoes from sandals to cowboy boots, the affidavit added. After he left the gas station, he headed westbound to Bourne in Kendall County, to Bandera County, the affidavit states. Around 1:41 p.m., a license plate reader captured Brad Simpson's truck heading back to Kendall County. At that time, the blue tarp was no longer visible in the bed of his truck, with a fire rack repositioned according to the affidavit. At 3 p.m., a school where Simpson's children are students called Brad Simpson and advised him that their child had not been picked up. The affidavit from October 9th states Suzanne Simpson typically picks up their child from school. Brad Simpson told police, according to the affidavit. Around 3:30 p.m., Brad Simpson arrived to pick up his child, and the bed of his truck did not contain the firewood rack surveillance video showed. He did have a heavy-duty trash can and ice chest at the time, according to an affidavit from November 12th. At 4:10 p.m., Brad Simpson went to a car wash and cleaned the inside of his truck, the affidavit states. The video showed dried cement splashes near the rear passenger compartment and bed. Only the ice chest was visible inside the bed of the truck. On the night of October 7th, a friend of Suzanne Simpson called Brad Simpson about concerns about her disappearance. At that time, he had not yet called the police or 911. He'd also told authorities he saw his wife on the morning of October 7th as he was leaving to drop off his young child at school. A friend ended up calling the police around 9:57 p.m. on October 6th. Around 10 p.m., Brad Simpson reporting his wife missing. So, if all this is true, this guy's horrible and trying to get away with stuff. And then Jonathan comes in, innocent until proven guilty, Bex. So, yes. I mean, just remember, Murder Kit Ronda says, just remember, this does look bad, but just remember as well, we still have to give the benefit of doubt to the defendant. It doesn't look good. I will be honest, it doesn't look good so far. However, there might be an easy explanation to all this. So I'm willing to go in with the presumption of innocence unless proven guilty. And also, just remember, this is all one-sided. We don't get to hear the defense side of this. Tuesday, October 8th. At some point, so they reported him missing the next day at 9:57, basically, and he reported him missing at 10 p.m. So at some point, Brad Simpson became uncooperative with investigators and failed to show up for an interview. Police learned that he relocated to his ranch in Bandera County, the affidavit stated. Investigators questioned Brad Simpson's brother, Barton Simpson, who told police that Brad had called him and apologized for all the problems he had caused. The affidavit states that on October 8th, Brad Simpson texted James Cotter, a lifelong business associate, saying, if you're in Bandera, can you haul ass and meet me at your house? I don't have much time. Um, but he could, yeah. But he could do something that looks innocent. I mean, come on. My beagle tries to get close to peck her nose and spazzes out, trying to for a revenge bite. I was just being a pain laugh, Mal. I'm in a good mood this day. I'm glad to see you in a good mood because Bex is in a bad mood. Um, if my birthday's October 8th, oh, is it? Bart Simpson, I know. It was, yeah, no comment. Bart and Simpson. Right. At some point, Brad Simpson, no, that's the wrong one. Cotter responded by saying, I will be there in 40 minutes. Brad Simpson responded, okay, make sure and leave all that shit into the pump house, especially the gun. Cotter, get over here. I won't tell anyone. Cotter, you're my brother. So just let's go through that again. Um, the text messages are Brad texts his friend saying, if you're in Bandera, can you haul ass and meet me at your house? I don't have much time. His friend Cotter says, I will be there in 40 minutes. Brad Simpson says, okay, make sure and leave all the shit into the pump house, especially the gun. Cotter says, his friend says, get over here. I won't tell anyone. And then another text message says, you're my brother. Because you're my brother. I always remember this is a report that provided there's two sides to every story in which we have not heard yet. Just saying, there you go, Dave. Dave gets it. Dave gets it. I will say, I'll be honest with you, it does not look good, but we still have to remember that it is, the presumption of innocence, innocent unless proven guilty. So I'm unlike Bex. I'm willing to give him a chance. Um, at 4:30 p.m., police interviewed staff at the school. One of their children attends. The child told staff that her parents were fighting and that her dad assaulted her mum and took her phone away, the affidavit states. The child also said Suzanne Simpson had a bruise on her elbow. Almost Park Police released a missing persons flyer to news outlets around 1 p.m. In the afternoon, evening, neighbours and friends started to show up in the area to pass out flyers and search for Suzanne Simpson. At 9:50 p.m., police questioned Simpson's neighbour, who told them what he saw on the night of October 6th. So, on Wednesday, October 9th, at 12:42 a.m., police obtained an arrest warrant for Brad Simpson on charges of assault, family violence, and an unlawful restraint. He did not appear surprised at the time of his arrest, the affidavit states, adding that authorities noticed lacerations and bruises on his arms and hands. He also appeared unconcerned and showed little emotion about her disappearance. I mean, again, people act differently in different scenarios. So that's just them, Anyway, at around 1:30 a.m., the Texas Department of Public Safety and Kendall County Sheriff's Offices took Brad Simpson into custody near 542 East Mile Marker on Interstate 10, according to the sheriff. Brad Simpson was booked into Kendall County Jail after 4 a.m., and his bond was later set at $1 million, a charge. At 10 a.m., two of Suzanne Simpson's friends spoke with KSAT, a news network in San Antonio, describing her as a good friend for them and a great mother to 4 children. They said they were heartbroken about her disappearance, but hopeful that she would be found alive. Villegas held a media briefing announcing the arrest of Brad Simpson. Villegas mentioned that investigators found 2 items in the woods, but he did not offer specifics. He said he was not able to determine yet whether they were connected to Suzanne Simpson. Texas Rangers executed a search warrant at a home in Bandera County and located a burn site with a burnt laptop and multiple cell phones belonging to Brad Simpson. according to an affidavit. 2 notes recovered from one of his cell phones were titled "The Next Life" and also "Last Will and Testament." So that's what the two notes recovered from one of his cell phones were titled "This Next Life" and "The Last Will and Testament." So "This Next Life" and "Last Will and Testament." The notes included apologies for physically assaulting his wife in October 2023 and again on October 6th, the affidavit states. Okay. Hey, Bad Dazza, how are you doing, fella? Thank you for the boobies that you've been sending on X. Thursday, October 10th, the Texas Rangers searched Brad Simpson's vehicle. Stains from his vehicle tested positive for blood, which was later determined to belong to Brad Simpson, according to the affidavit from November 12th. In the morning, police took down the crime scene tape from outside the Simpson home and opened East almost to traffic again. They condensed their command post to an area within 1 block along East Contour. At 8 a.m., a detective confirmed in a phone call At 8 a.m., a detective confirmed in a phone call that investigators completed a search of the home, but he declined to offer any details on what they may have found. Brad Simpson was taken to the Bexar County Jail with Judge Simpson is. No, not Judge Simpson. What's her name? The judge with the handbags. After being transferred from Kendall County. Brad Simpson's mother, who did not reveal her name, told KSAT, "I'm in total disbelief. We are a devastated family, and we do need privacy, and that's all we're asking for people. We're asking because our only concern right now are these children and these grandchildren." At 4 p.m., Villegas held another media briefing and released a photo from a security camera showing Suzanne Simpson outside the Argyle. Hang on then. Let me just get this for a second. Judge Boyd, thank you, Sarah P. Judge Boyd, thank you very much. Everybody. Okay, hang on. Okay, got that to play. Oh, there's a few things here. Okay. Okay, anyway, let's go through here. Right, so on October 11th, federal authorities placed a hold on Brad Simpson. A federal hold or a detainer is a request from a federal agency to keep an inmate in custody or to notify the agency before his or her release. Authorities searched the 33000 block of I-10 near Highway 87, about a mile away from where Brad Simpson was arrested. You can see it there. Search lasted from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Authorities did not say if anything of significance was found. So you'll see the original search location and also the Friday search location there on the map. On Saturday, October 12th, a warrant to search a southeast Bexar County landfill for any clues regarding Suzanne's disappearance was signed off after being filed under seal by the Texas DPS. Sunday, October 13th, a prayer vigil was held for Suzanne Simpson at Lord Grotto on Blanco Road. Her mother, Barbara Clark, spoke at the vigil. "I just don't understand. I don't understand why it happened. It wasn't part of their life, she told KSAT. Bart and Tinsley Simpson, Suzanne Simpson's brother-in-law, released a new statement on social media on Sunday morning, stating, "We are also deeply thankful to the community and to everyone who has supported and continues to support the search," Bart and Tinsley Simpson said. "To all of you who have reached out with love and encouragement, please know that your support means the world to us. We will not stop until we find him." So that's his brother. On October 14th, Monday, October 14th, KSAT was made aware of the search happening at the landfill in southeast Bexar County, beginning KSAT's daily coverage of the search. A bond hearing was cancelled on Tuesday, October the 15th. The search in the landfill continued. That's the search for the landfill.
Get ready.
I'll replay it a couple of times just so you can see it, because it is. So this is one of those days. Say they're close to finding it, but I don't believe they did find it. So there's that. Right, back to this. The search, right, in an email to Almost Park residents, Venegas revealed that evidence, statements, and further investigation led officers to the landfill. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus said the Almost Park police asked for SAPD's help in the search. McManus said 25 cadets assisted on Tuesday. The affidavit revealed Brad Simpson now faces a federal charge for illegally owning a short-barreled rifle. He faces up to 10 years in federal prison and a $250,000 fine, according to the affidavit. This charge is the reason Brad Simpson has a federal detainer on his release from the Bexar County Jail. On Wednesday, October 16th, the search at the landfill continues. The brother of Brad Simpson, Bart Simpson, condemned his brother on social media. He released the following statement on social media and says, "Until Brad chooses to cooperate, we will continue to cooperate for him as we have from the very beginning of this heartbreaking ordeal. This is not how he was raised, and this is not who we are. Our parents instilled in us the values of honoring and protecting others, and they are truly remarkable people. The devastation this has caused to our family is overwhelming. Brad's refusal to cooperate is unacceptable. My sister and brother-in-law have stepped up to take care of the children, but the impact on our parents has been shattering. Our lives have been irreparably changed. We will not rest until we find Suzanne." Signed, Barton T. Simpson. "Hello, hippie chick. How are you doing, my darling?" The Bart Simpson. "I've been listening, but finally on a break to say hello." "Hello, hippie chick. How are you doing, my darling?" "I hope you're well." There's two of you here. I've not seen Spacey Stacey for forever. I hope she's doing okay. Then, on October 17th, Thursday, October 17th, the search at the landfill ended. Texas TPS said they found no evidence connected to Suzanne Simpson at the site. On Saturday, October 19th, City of Almost Park Mayor Erin Harrison said the search would resume within city limits. The mayor said the Almost Park Police Department has enlisted the resources of Texas Search and Rescue, an Austin-based non-profit organization. Harrison said OPPD and Texas Search and Rescue's search for Suzanne Simpson will now focus on the wooded areas in and around Almost Park. He said the department has not requested volunteers in its search for Suzanne Simpson. Monday, October 21st, a long-time business associate of Brad Simpson was arrested on felony charges. James Vale Cotter, 65, who, if you remember, he was the one that's doing the text messages with Brad, faces felony charges of tampering with evidence with intent to impair investigation. Bexar County Jail records also show Cotter faces a felony charge of possession of prohibited weapons. On the same date, which is Monday, October 21st, Brad Simpson's attorney, Stephen Gilmore, submitted a letter to Bexar County Court Number 7 on Monday, October 21st, in efforts to change Simpson's bond conditions. The letter stated that Simpson wants to visit with his children while he is in custody. Tuesday, October 22nd, records show Brad Simpson was charged with tampering / fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair, as well as a prohibited weapon-related charge on Tuesday, October 22nd. Authorities searched Brad Simpson's home and found 1 bag of cement, a box of heavy-duty black trash bags, a heavy-duty trash can, and a metal firewood rack. Not that kind of rack, but that's according to the affidavit on November 12th. So Cotter's updated booking page removed the prohibited weapons charge during the day on Tuesday, October 22nd, and then placed the charge back on Cotter that evening. Cotter's bond on the felony charges has been set at 1 million, court records show. Hello, how are we doing, Yaya Tucker? Trucker, hope you're doing well. On Wednesday, October 23rd, Texas Rangers interviewed Suzanne Simpson's personal banker, who was a wanker, on October 23rd. And the banker said Suzanne Simpson has made an outcry of domestic violence in August. She added that her husband would also commonly take her cell phone away, according to an affidavit. And if you remember, there was a note in his phone apologizing for the assault he did on her in August and on October the 6th, allegedly. She told the banker that if she went missing, to look for her in a lake, the affidavit states. One friend told authorities that Suzanne Simpson knew. Sorry, let me move the page. One friend told authorities that Suzanne Simpson knew her husband tracked her cell phone and she knew him to be extremely jealous, the affidavit states. After an incident in September 2023, Brad Simpson sent a text message to a friend that said, "I still feel bad about tonight. I never should have grabbed her phone and drove off, but she was so protective of it," the affidavit states. Thursday, October 24th, Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez challenged a motion to change Brad Simpson's bond condition. Simpson is seeking to amend bond conditions to have contact with his children. The district attorney's office declined to comment further since the case is pending. Friday, October 25th. Hang on. Right. I'm distracted. Oh, Aruba! Happy days! Aruba! Hang on. Okay, I see you, Jonathan. Sarah's going to post a link for you, Jonathan. Sarah posted a link. It's the mod link. I'm trusting that other people won't go into it, so you can press the link when Sarah posts it for you, Jonathan. You'll get. Well, if other people press it, we'll just decline you. But I mean, yeah. Um, More demanded changes. Right, we've done that. Brad Simpson, Tuesday, October 29th, Brad Simpson told the family court that his wife was probably in Austin with friends on October 29th, and two sources confirmed this to KSAT on November 12th. Brad Simpson also said that Suzanne was probably in Austin with her sorority sisters because it was her happy place. He was then told by his attorney to stop talking and did not answer any of the questions, sources confirmed to KSAT. Monday, November 4th, James Cotter had a bond hearing where Cotter's attorney, Robert Maurer, argued to a reduction of Cotter's $1 million bond, calling it unconstitutional. A decision was not made and a rescheduled date was not assigned, and Cotter's mother is expected to testify regarding his financial situation. Tuesday, November 5th, Suzanne Simpson's 20-year-old daughter posted a series of stories on Instagram about her mother's disappearance and spoke out against domestic violence. One of the Instagram stories alleged that her father, Brad Simpson, took my mother's life in a state of rage and control. Shit. The daughter thinks women within the Alamo Heights community are told to keep quiet regarding domestic violence and encourages women to make their voices heard. Thursday, November 7th, after 12:32 p.m., Judge Miguel Najera quietly made the decision to reduce the bond for James Cotter without a scheduled hearing, according to court records. Since Cotter's arrest on October 22nd, his bonds totaled $1 million. Reduction brought the total down to $100,000, $50,000 for each charge. At 11:15 p.m., a convoy of DPS, Almost Park PD, and BCSO vehicles were recorded by KSAT leaving the east side of the Bexar County Jail. BCSO officials confirmed that Simpson was taken out of jail for further questioning by the Texas Rangers. At 4:10 p.m., Brad Simpson was charged with murder in his wife's death, according to court records. So they reduced his bond, but then obviously they were like, well, if that's the case, we're going to set him as, because he's obviously going to bond himself out. So they charged him officially then with murder. So the judge set Simpson's bond for the murder charge at $2 million, rising his total bond to $5 million. Authorities have not bound Suzanne Simpson, but sources state they believe her remains are somewhere in the Bandera area, where Brad Simpson headed the night of October 6th. Friday, November 8th at 2 p.m., Almost Park Police and the Texas Department of Public Safety told the public that Brad Simpson was charged with murder. Barton Simpson, Suzanne Simpson's brother-in-law, spoke to the media for the first time since her disappearance. He urged Brad to cooperate with investigators. As of 3:25 p.m., the Bexar County Sheriff's Office has said Cotter was officially released from the Bexar County Adult Detention Center. KSAT obtained the affidavit of Brad Simpson's arrest warrant for murder. The affidavit reveals details of Suzanne Simpson's disappearance and evidence that investigators have been piecing together since Suzanne's disappearance. Tuesday, November 19th, a hearing for examining trial on the case of Brad Simpson is granted and scheduled for December 9th. This means prosecutors are forced to present sufficient evidence to indict him in his wife's murder. KSAT reached out to Suzanne Simpson's 20-year-old daughter in an exclusive statement. She shared her favorite memories of her mother. Tuesday, December 3rd, according to Bexar County records, Brad Simpson is officially indicted by a grand jury on the following charges. So he's, let me just do this. No, have I got the right one? Yeah, I do. So his charges are murder, first-degree felony, tampering with evidence with the intent to impair a human corpse, which is a second-degree felony, tampering/fabricating physical evidence with the intent to impair, third-degree felony, and prohibited weapons, third-degree felony. So the tampering with evidence with the intent to impair a human corpse is second-degree felony. Okay. Simpson's case is to be overseen by the 226th District Court Judge Vela J. Messer. Barton Simpson releases a statement on social media. It reads in part, "We urge Brad to do the right thing by fully cooperating with the authorities for the sake of his children and the family who loves him. We ask him to accept responsibility and place himself at the mercy of the court." Wednesday, December 4th. Bexar County records reveal that Brad Simpson concealed a reciprocating saw knowingly while being investigated, leading to his indictment for tampering, fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair. The tool is an electric handheld saw. Simpson's attorney filed a motion to quash the indictment. This means they wanted the court to consider if the indictment is valid and are asking the court to avoid it. Thursday, December 5th, two sources told KSAT that according to what law enforcement officials told Suzanne Simpson's family, her DNA was found on the reciprocating saw that Brad Simpson concealed. Monday, December 9th, Brad Simpson was seen for the first time since his arrest in the hearing for examining trial, which was streamed live on all KSAT platforms. A bond modification hearing was scheduled for December 19th. Barton Simpson addressed the media. He said in part, "My brother's children are surrounded with love and caring and compassion and are doing as well as you think you could for anyone in this situation." During a Child Protective Service hearing, Bexar County Children's Court, Brad Simpson pleaded the fifth. This means that according to the US Constitution, in legal proceedings, no one shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Tuesday, December the 10th. According to court documents, Bexar County District Court Judge Joel Perez issued a gag order for Brad Simpson's case. This means that witnesses in the case are all attorneys and their staff and law enforcement are not allowed to speak to the media in order to ensure a fair trial and not taint the jury pool. So there you go. That is everything up till December. The trial was set for February 13th, but then it was pushed again, and allegedly it's supposed to begin this week with jury selection. So allegedly, so we'll see. So there's a few pictures I'll play. So let's go to the first one. This is Suzanne Simpson's sister. She gives an interview. This is a year ago, so it would have been raw, I imagine. But I want to play. I've not seen any of these things. And as we play,
hello.
As we play that, I'm going to put my coffee on. I need to put it on, so I'll be back. But
my name is Teresa Clark. I am Suzanne Clark Simpson's sister. And on behalf of the Clark family, we want everyone to know that we are devastated by the loss of my sister. I am here to be a voice for my sister, and the search will continue and we will not stop until we find her. We are going to bring Suzanne home because Suzanne was an incredible mother, daughter, sister, and she was a beloved person of the San Antonio community who was born and raised in San Antonio. We are so grateful that Suzanne has a large tribe and a large family because we are determined to find her. Lastly, the Clark family would like to thank all the people who have been involved, especially Governor Abbott, the DPS, the Bexar County Police, the Almas Park Police, the Kendall County Police, the FBI, the ATF, the search and rescue people, If there's anybody I'm leaving out, forgive me. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. We're grateful for every person who has tried to help our family, who's helped our family by opening their arms and making prayers and all the things that everybody has done. In closing, all we have to say is we love Suzanne Simpson the most, and we are going to bring her home.
Teresa, how does it make you feel that the chief had said that she was going to be, she may have been in the landfill, and now they've closed that area of searching? How does that make you and your family feel?
Well, the thing about it is that because we have an ongoing investigation with so many people involved, I'm not really allowed to directly speak about any questions, because right now the only thing that we can focus on is finding my sister and bringing her home, and that is our goal, and that's why we started the vigil here, and this is why I'm making a statement on behalf of the Clark family.
How does it make you feel that Brad is uncooperative?
I cannot express any feelings except for finding my sister. So I appreciate everybody coming out today. Thank you so much, and I'm sure that we'll keep you up to date as we can do so, but at this moment all we can do is be gracious, thankful, and pray to find my sister.
Are you the family spokesperson?
I am not the family spokesperson.
But for the Clark family, are you the spokesperson?
I'm speaking on behalf of the Clark family.
Have you been in contact with the family as well?
I cannot speak about the family. I can only speak about me and my sister, and that's the only thing I can talk about.
What's your favorite memory with your sister?
That my dad nicknamed her Jesus because he had a lot of clients named Jesus, and they say Jesus in Spanish is Jesus. And so my dad would always call her Jesus. So anyways, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys. And
Teresa,
I'm sure
if I ask one more question.
I'm probably not going to be able to answer it, but you can try.
Okay. No, it's okay. I know this has been a really hard time for you. What has helped you get through these past few weeks?
I mean, to be honest with you, so because I was raised in the north side, but then of course I've lived in Alma Heights, and Suzanne's lived in Almas Park, and of course I love all of San Antonio, but the people that have helped me the most have been several of my friends from Clark High School. And so at the end of the day, I went to Lee, and then I had a lot of friends and a large network growing up here. And I can just really say that it's been my Clark friends that have really stepped up to the plate.
How are her kids?
I can only talk about Suzanne. I'm sorry.
Have you talked to them at all?
I mean, yeah, I have, but it's like I'm talking to them, but I can't talk about them just for the sake of their privacy.
And you wrote this with her daughter, Chandler. Why was it important for her, she felt, to get her message across as well?
Because it's her mother. And I think, everybody knows that one of the reasons that this is so crucial is because when a mother goes missing, they don't go missing by accident, because mothers have very set schedules of like coming home at night and making dinner, waking up and making breakfast, doing the hustle to make some money, taking the kids to their activities. So, when a mother goes missing of children need their mothers the most. And that is the reason that we've been able to get so many people involved in this situation, is because Suzanne was a beloved mother. She was an incredible person, and she just had the sweetest disposition. She always aimed to please. My mom's like, she's so easy to raise. And so when you have an incredible mother that is no longer there to cook 3 meals a day and get the kids to the activities and be involved in their schoolwork, their homework, everything that has to do with them, getting their hair done or getting them dressed or whatever the situation may be, it's just very heartbreaking not for somebody not to have their mother, is basically the bottom line.
So last week you posted something about her being found and her being dead. Where did those comments come
So I was traveling around the world on a trip that was sort of just like a once in a lifetime situation with a large group of people. And it started off as 54 people. And then the next week it was 124 people. and I had booked the airline ticket on American, and it was just like on my miles, so it was very affordable. And they had set the trip up to go like Austin, Los Angeles to Doha, Middle East. Then I was in Phuket for 7 days, which was like a dream come true for me. And when I left to go on this trip, I was in deep prayer. Just, I don't know why, but for some reason, when I was on this trip, I was like, God, I am praying to you. I need you to give me the best focus, the best direction, like whatever the message is, I need you to communicate it to me. And so then I flew back home. And when I was flying home, I flew through Hong Kong and then took a different airline to go across the Pacific Ocean, which I've never done. That is why it's called a trip around the world. And when I received the message from my niece, I knew immediately that my sister was gone, because I know that my sister would never go missing for 16 hours. Like, that's just inconceivable. And so then I just thought it was like this super simple, cut and dry thing, that they got into an argument. They had all this information. They had found her near the house. And when you're on a plane traveling around the world, you're not privy to information. And because there was so much information, like, it was just very confusing. And I'm not a specialist in these type of things, obviously. So I just was misinformed, basically. And then when I got home, I went to see my mom. And then when I understood the severity of the situation, that we couldn't find her, then we just trying our best every single day, praying that she will be found, because at the end of the day, we want to have closure, for our families to move forward and make the most out of this situation for the sake of her children.
Speaking of closure, we've talked about wanting to lay her to rest, how important it is to have that funeral. Can you expand on that for us a little bit?
I mean, I don't really feel comfortable talking about that right now. I mean, I have visited with the family, and I do know, I have an idea of what the wishes are, but, and until we find her, once we find her, then we will get together as a tribe to figure out, the final plans. But right now we have a very large plate of details to handle. And the first detail is to find her. And then, we have to figure out this and we have to figure out that. And so we have a lot of stuff to figure out. And once we just, we're talking about it on a daily basis, what we want the plans to be, and respecting the wishes of our children. And so all we can do is every day, like, okay, we got to think about this. We got to think about that. We got to think about this. Who's going to step up and do this? Who's going to step up and do that? And so we're trying basically to divide and conquer, which is also what the state of Texas has done, which we are so grateful for all the people that have prayed, that have come out and tried to help us resolve the situation.
When is the last time you were able to talk to your sister and hear?
I recently saw her before I left on this trip. So, but I don't want to get into any private details about my sister, just out of the respect for her. But before I went on this trip, I did see her and I did speak with her. So,
Do you know about when that was? Just not about.
No, I was kind of trying to figure out when that was. And honestly, because there's just been, I've been really busy this summer, and I've been trying to stay busy just in general because of, the political situation. And when I tried to go back to the timeline, I was like, well, maybe it was August, but we have so much stuff going on that I can't really specifically say when it was, because I wasn't really thinking about it. It's just like a normal occurrence to be all, hey, Suze, you know what I mean?
So maybe August, maybe October.
I can't even tell you. I left town at the end of September, and I got back into town on Tuesday, October the 7th, which is, and then because I was like 24 hours ahead, I kind of had like a bit of a heads up on the situation by ways of her children. And so then, it just happened to work out that I got back into town, one of her children got back into town the same day. Then we've been trying to sort through all the details and trying to understand what's been happening. And at the end of the day, a couple days ago, one of the publications had made a very specific timeline of everything. And it was very helpful because once I read the specific timeline that the press did, it kind of just solidified everything of what the situation was, because unless you look at a timeline, it's hard to know all the details of what's going on.
I know you don't want to speak too much to the investigation, which we totally understand, but when it comes to getting justice for your sister, I mean, how important is that too?
I mean, honestly, I can't even talk about that, because the whole situation is just really, truly heartbreaking for us. And, we have all been together since little children, because San Antonio just it's like a small community in a way. It's sort of like a small town in a big city. And so the only thing that we can focus on right now is every day we just pray and we just know that God's got this, because we would never expect something like this to happen. And then we just have to be patient for everything to sort of work itself out so that we can execute on the plan that best works for her children.
Thank you so much, Teresa.
Yeah, y'all are sweet to come out. I appreciate it.
That interview, these interviews are like a year ago. They were all a year ago. So this one's 5 months ago. The same sister. This is what happened.
1 year ago this week, Suzanne Simpson's neighbors saw something that they'll never unsee. Suzanne was screaming and fighting with her husband out in front of the house. It was late in the evening, but soon the screaming could be heard from the woods nearby. And then everything went silent. Suzanne was never seen or heard from again, which is a big deal considering the 51-year-old realtor was the mother of 4 kids. But her husband, Brad Simpson, he's been seen a lot. First on video, buying lots of cleaning supplies and carting around strange containers in the back of his truck until suddenly those containers were gone too. Then next, he was seen in the mugshots after being arrested for the murder of his wife, Suzanne. Now, understandably, a lot of this has gotten under the skin of Suzanne's family. I spoke with Suzanne's sister, Teresa, last November when the murder investigation was still very fresh.
And I knew as soon as I heard that my sister had been missing for 16 hours that she was no longer with us, because we have...
There you go, Sarah. November 14th, 2024.
Lost my sister at Disney, for an hour or two. We've lost her in South Texas for an hour or two, but my sister has always been at home,
Shut the front door. She made it. I was just saying to everyone, I've not seen you for ages. I was just saying to everyone, I've not seen her for ages. And here she is. She arrives. What the? Hope you're doing well, Spacey Stacey. I hope you enjoy Aruba whenever you leave for Aruba.
In her bed with her husband, with her children. She has a lot of responsibilities, and she doesn't go missing for, more than an hour or two. So I knew right away that my sister was no longer with us as soon as I got the message.
Well, now in a shocking turn of events, that sister, Teresa, has been arrested in connection with the murder, but not for anything she did to Suzanne. After the break, why they took her in, and is she in the same jail as her sister's accused killer? It's next. As I told you before the break, Brad Simpson is in jail, couldn't afford the $3 million in bond for the accusations that he murdered his wife, Suzanne, 1 year ago this week. But now Suzanne's sister, Teresa, is also in jail, and this is a recent development. I'm happy to be joined by Sig Christensen now. He's an investigative reporter at the San Antonio Express News. Sig, you and I have talked about this case before, but what happened to Teresa? Why has she been jailed?
She apparently has been accused of harassing a number of people in his family. And at the moment, that's a $2,000 fine, 180 days in jail, maybe both. It's a misdemeanor like DWI here in Texas. So it's nowhere near as serious as what he's facing, but she was arrested by the folks in the Travis County area. DPS arrested her and they took her to jail.
And as I understand, she's able to bond out. That's not a big bond to get out on those charges. But was there any point where she was in the same jail facility as Brad Simpson, the man who's accused of murdering her sister?
No, he's an hour and 20 minutes down here in San Antonio, south of Austin. So and by the way, he's been there nearly a year. I wonder how a year in county lockup has worn on him. It was a year and 2 days ago that we last saw his wife. She was seen at the Argyle, and the last anybody even heard of her was a neighbor who said he heard the screams coming from a nearby wooded area, and he apparently saw some evidence of a struggle between them. And that's the last we've seen or heard of her. After a year, no trace of her body, and yet some pretty interesting charges. The assault with a deadly weapon causing serious bodily injury. How do they know that? I wonder. And the same thing with tampering with a corpse. How do they know that?
Yeah.
It's as if they've got some evidence.
See. Exactly. I can't wait to see some of that evidence. But let me ask you a little bit about Teresa, because this was just out of the blue. It came out of nowhere. Do you know what the allegations are against her, what she is alleged to have done to harass Brad's family members?
What we've had in our newspaper, the San Antonio Express News, is that she was apparently calling and harassing the family, and they were getting phone calls late at night, numerous times in the evening, the story says. And the messages ran from several seconds to several minutes long. They were repetitive frequently. Clark accused the Simpsons of, quote, killing her sister, quote, end quote, and said, quote, they do not know who they are messing with, end quote. And she also warned, according to our story, that they would, quote, not get away with this. So obviously angry, but there's a lot of anger and grief in both of those families. I think one of Brad's brothers actually took the side of Suzanne Simpson in that case and turned against his own brother.
I remember hearing that.
There's a lot
yeah,
of
I remember
there.
hearing that. So real quickly, I only have a couple seconds left here, but I know you mentioned it's misdemeanor, but what's she facing if she's convicted of this?
Well, if she got 180 days in jail, she's probably, unless she's been in jail before, I can't even imagine her getting any time. It might be a fine. I guess it may come down to the jury if a jury ends up hearing the case. You know, and you never know what a jury is. I could see that there'd be
some sympathy. No, exactly. I could see them, having some sympathy for her. I have to wrap it there, but you know what? I've got to have you back on. You always have great information in this case, and clearly, we're going to trial. I think with Brad, it's in December. Yeah. Oh, February 13th. So we come back.
February 13th. I'll be back, and we'll be covering that trial.
It was supposed to be February 13th, but it is now on. Well, I believe it's either a hearing this Thursday or it's. So what happened? Well, shut up. Anyway, right. I will get to it. Maybe I'll get to it now. So. Hang on. Oh shit! This went wrong there. Right, hang on. it might be this. So hang on. Hey, lovely. How you doing, my darling? Bex, you're such a bitch. It's unbelievable.
To two major court cases we are following, both with big updates today. The trial for Brad Simpson has now been pushed back. He is the almost park man accused of killing his wife, Suzanne Simpson.
And a father facing the death penalty for attacking his young daughters now has a trial date set. KSAT's Erica Hernandez was at both hearings and has an update.
For more than a year, Brad Simpson has been sitting in the Bexar County Jail, but now he will have to wait longer for his trial. Simpson is accused of the murder of his wife, Suzanne Simpson, back in October 2024, after she was last seen at their Olmos Park home. Even though charged with murder, Suzanne has never been found.
We've gotten waves of more evidence over time.
The state telling Judge Joel Perez Tuesday that more evidence has come in and they needed more time. The defense said they didn't want a reset, but understood they would need to see that evidence as well. So Judge Perez granted a reset. As soon as that case ended, Stephen Clare was brought into the same courtroom. Clare was charged with the capital murder of his 11-month-old daughter and seriously injuring his ex-wife and 2-year-old daughter in 2023. Judge Perez now wanted to move this case earlier.
The Simpson case is reset, and so that means that it opens up time to try Mr. Clare. I want to move forward on this case. I don't want to wait.
Both sides said they still needed to finish up some pretrial motions before they would be able to start, but Judge Perez said he wants this to go forward soon.
He is in custody. He is presumed innocent, and so he needs to have his day in court.
As for Brad Simpson, there is no trial date yet set in this case. Obviously, one will eventually come, but some other motions need to be taken care of before that. Now, as far as Stephen Clare, that we can probably expect this spring with jury selection sometime in March, which is a long process for jury selection in a capital murder case with the death penalty on the table. So we could see that going to trial possibly as early as in April, once 4 weeks of jury selection is taken care of. Advocate in the Reeves, just.
So, see you, Rhonda. I got a dentist on the 24th. So on Tuesday, 24th, I will be not here. I'll be at the dentist. So a lot of old people do that, do their own teeth. My uncle pulls his own teeth. Right. What did they call this guy? What was this guy's name? Because it sounds like, so from my understanding, Brad Simpson was supposed to start on the 13th, but he had up to 60-day continuance. So there's a hearing. It must be the hearing on Thursday then, not a trial on Thursday for Brad Simpson. So this guy is going to get his trial, I presume, before this guy. Hey, lovely. Always too short. Oh, I'm sorry. I did have an okay weekend. Thank you, lovely, as always. You and Rhonda are always super nice. I've not seen Jugs today. Where's Jugs today? I've not seen it today. No worries, yeah. See you later, my darling. Not seen Marilyn today. So, what was his name? This guy's name? Because Richards. Oh, that's going. Aren't they doing closing arguments today? I heard that the defense didn't even put an argument up or something. Right. Let's catch his name again then. Hang on.
Simpson has now been pushed back. He is the almost park man accused of killing his wife, Suzanne Simpson.
And a father facing the death penalty for attacking his young daughters now has a trial date set. KSAT's Erica Hernandez was at both hearings and has an update.
For more than a year, Brad Simpson's ex-wife and 2-year-old daughter evidence as
right. Listen out to his name
as well. So Judge Perez granted a reset. As soon as that case ended, Stephen Clare was brought in.
Stephen Clare. Right. How do we? Stephen Clare. Is that how we do it? Oh, close. Oh, he pled guilty. Oh, he's pled guilty. So there you go. There's no trial because he's pled guilty. So I imagine he's not getting a death penalty then. Lady Di has been here. Lady Di has been here. She's just grumpy today. She was here earlier on. Balthazar. Okay, so there's no trial there. Fine. Right. So there's that one. Right. Next video. This is Suzanne Simpson's mother.
First and foremost.
Again, this is over a year ago, but this is when we're looking for her.
How are you doing? It's been 1 week since anyone's seen Suzanne.
I'm doing well in the fact that I don't really understand everything that happened. I'm doing well in the fact that I know God, and I'm doing well because Suzanne and I had an opportunity to talk an hour before a lot of this has happened, and I don't understand why and what happened, and I hope someday I'll be able to understand the situation.
You said you had a conversation with her about an hour before she was missing, or the last time she was seen. What was that conversation like?
The conversation was that it all started because she wanted me to take care of her 5-year-old while she went to a party. And so then she decided that she could go to the party after Brad would go to the party, and then she would go, and she could also take the Charlie Ann with her. And then she changed her mind, and when she went to the party, they came back from the party. Now my speculation is maybe the whole thing is alcohol related, because when she got back, she called me up and told me the things.
Thank you for the super sticker, Holly. Thank you, Medallion. Thanks for covering. No issues at all. We just try to figure out when it's starting though. Because we believe the 19th is a hearing now, and the trial will be pushed out, but we're not 100% sure today. But yeah, thank you very much for the super sticker, Holly. Appreciate you.
That Brad had done to her physically. Well, I came up with an alternative plan for her and hope that she'd move in with me and have her little toddler go to the elementary school in my neighborhood. I never got to tell her the plan. I don't know what happened. I think Brad at that time had done the damage. I don't know what happened. Brad, the next day, which was Monday, Brad called me and told me that he got up and took Charlie Ann to school, and Suzanne didn't pick up her. So that was the first time I knew there was something. But I just thought she was, friends. That would be normal. So it took me a little while to come to the conclusion that she would have called me. And so I in my brain, felt that she was dead at that point.
You said Suzanne called you and told you what Brad had done to her. What did she say?
Yes, she had told me that he had hurt her arm and hurt her back, and she didn't know quite what she was going to do about that. And so that was the end of that. But I think all the rest of that conversation happened at 10 o'clock. It was 9 o'clock that she said that. And at 10 o'clock, there's the records of whatever happened to her and what Brad did. Brad has always been my friend. I've had high regards for him. I always thought he was a good father. I thought I admired him, and I don't understand what the situation is with him.
Do you think that Brad's responsible for her disappearance?
I agree with that.
What would you say to Brad right now, who's not cooperating with investigators?
Yes. I'd tell Brad that I would like to visit with him and ask him why. What happened? I'm shocked. I had a lot of admiration for him. I still plan to be his friend. And I don't know if the alcohol that they had at the party was his problem.
Have there
Wow. You know, you don't hear this every single day, Dorian.
been any, I guess, any abuse in the past, any physical altercations between them?
There was one other one that I knew of not too long ago. And I can't really remember too much about that. But after, this is like the next day, Brad and I were together, and I didn't understand, I didn't know this was going on. And I had a little conversation with him, and I said something about Suzanne said, you hurt her arm and another her back, and then I mentioned there was something else, and he all of a sudden got a little defensive. And so I said, "Oh, I think I must be mistaken." And I thought, well, maybe I was mistaken, but I think that was the start of this situation, or the start. And then I didn't know anything more at that point. And so then I've heard a little bit what's the situation with him, that what the law did, found him, and evidently he's in jail at this point.
How are you doing right now?
Well, it's hard to comprehend it. It's hard to believe it happened. And I don't know, with the 4 children, I'm not so concerned as with the older kids, but for being 5 years old, have a mommy and a daddy. And sort of I wonder where does the money come from at this point when your mother's not alive and your father's in jail. And that's just one little probably issue and challenge we'll have from it.
So you don't think Suzanne's alive?
I don't think she is, because I have not heard from her. That's the only reason. Nobody's told me what happened. I've heard a little stuff that what they're trying to do and I've talked with several sheriff people, my story, and it's just unlike her. She was a very positive person. She was a very pleasant person in my life, and when she was a little child, she was just such a joy. And
what do you, the kids, and the family need most right now?
Well, we try to be positive, try to focus on God. I've been in Bible study fellowship for 44 years. They've taught me how to get through it, difficult situations. They've taught me about the power of God. And I have a lot of questions that have not been answered. I'll never understand it until I get to really talk to Brad. Maybe he can explain to me what happened to him.
Is there anything you say to Suzanne right now if she could hear you?
Suzanne, we love you. We need you. And we pray for you.
Can you talk to us about the difficulty of this week for you and everyone involved?
I think the hardest part is so many people are calling me and asking me, and I'm happy to share, but it's not a short story. And so I had an opportunity to be with a group this afternoon, and they didn't know about the circumstances, and I didn't want them to know. Not that I didn't want to have to take the time to explain it. So I've got telephone calls coming from all over the United States, and it's such a complicated story. I don't mind sharing the story, but how to make it short enough so I can have everybody understand what's going on.
Just your thoughts on tonight's turnout and then the immense support all around the globe and social media about this case.
Oh, this is a beautiful evening. I'm so impressed with it, and I hope that somehow or another this will help us get through
So this was the night of the vigil that was held.
it, and hopefully for Suzanne, I don't know how it is for her and what she went through and the torture. I felt like she must have gone through a lot of torture from what little I've read about the neighbors, what the neighbors have said. And I'm very thankful for this evening. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you all being interested, and that I can share my story with her, with you all about her.
Okay. So next then, let's watch this one. This is another court appearance he had about the children.
It's been just over 6 months since Almost Park mother Suzanne Simpson disappeared. Her husband, Brad Simpson, facing charges for her murder.
Today, a hearing for the custody of their children. News 4 San Antonio's Mariah Medina joins us live with what happened in court.
Yeah, Mandy, Jonathan, Brad Simpson was noticeably absent from this permanency hearing this afternoon. The hearing was to determine the long-term placement of Simpson and his wife Suzanne's 2 minor children. It's unclear why Brad Simpson, who has been at the Bexar County Jail since his October arrest, didn't appear at today's hearing. He last appeared for custody proceedings via Zoom back in December. An attorney for his wife, Suzanne, telling the court today that it is believed that she is deceased. So Brad Simpson is charged with her murder. Her remains have yet to be found. The judge today decided to keep the 2 minor children where they are currently, and that is with an aunt and uncle. A court-appointed guardian told the court that the children are doing well despite the circumstances. And all parties involved will return to court on July 30th and have a trial date set for September 17th to determine who will be granted custody of the children. Reporting live downtown, I'm Mariah Medina at News 4 San Antonio.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.
This is
Please like and subscribe. Right. Hang on. So this is from Brian Enton. So I'd rather play this one than play Core TV. This is from 3 months ago. I have no idea what it is. I've not watched it, but I will watch it. I have no idea what it is.
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my show. Really appreciate it.
That's right, Brian. Just get to it. She's beautiful. She is beautiful.
Playing out in the suburbs of San Antonio, Texas, over the last year. I was just going through all of the court paperwork, and I'm surprised this has not gotten more attention. There's been some news stories, but I mean, it is just a really messed up case. And there is now a trial date that has finally been set for the suspect. So I figured now would be a good time to catch you all up on the case. Because we're definitely going to be hearing a lot more about the case soon, especially one of the weird things about it is the victim's body has never been found, but her DNA has been found on a power saw of all places. So that sort of gives you an idea of just how messed up all of this is. And I'm going to get into all.
I actually thought the same. I thought I actually the same. For a split second, I thought that was Epstein.
Again, this is going to be a deep dive on the case. The victim is a wealthy Almost Park realtor. She's a mom of 4. Her name is Suzanne Simpson. And last month marked the 1-year anniversary since her disappearance. Her husband, Brad, is the man now charged with her murder. And he finally has a tentative trial date set for February 13th of next year. So not that far off. It's just a couple of months from now. This case is really just loaded with details. So let me start for you from the very beginning. Suzanne was last seen on the evening of it was Sunday, October 6, 2024, a little over a year ago, like I mentioned, attending a party at a place called the Argyle Club in Alamo Heights with her husband, Brad, and their little 5-year-old daughter. This is all according to the arrest affidavit, but apparently they were not having a very good time. Witnesses say the couple got into, quote, a verbal altercation, some kind of fight at the party, and that Suzanne took off with her daughter, leaving her husband, Brad, behind. After she left, Suzanne called her mom, told her that Brad had actually assaulted her, and that he had hurt her arm, that he'd hurt her back and also hurt her neck. And later, detectives would also learn that there may have been a history of abuse here. I mean, shocker there. I'm going to get to all of that in a bit, the whole history, and there's a lot there. But Suzanne, she takes off from the party, from this country club around 8:30 p.m. She's spotted on security footage at an H-E-B supermarket with her daughter. That was around 8:40 p.m. Then calls her friend to say that she's coming over. Her car was then spotted on surveillance video at the friend's house. That was 9:25 p.m. that evening. And it was on this drive that she called her mom and told her what happened at the party. And this is where things really start to get weird. It was around this time that Suzanne's cell phone company cut off her service. And they say it was at the request of the subscriber. Very strange. Authorities believe it was actually Brad, the husband, who did this, because then he told them a story about how she had lost her phone at the grocery store. Apparently, Brad didn't know that Suzanne used the Find My Friends feature with her family, because they were able to show detectives a screenshot that put Suzanne's phone back at the family's $1 million home. That was around 10:22 p.m. I don't know why my dog just got up. Scout, are you okay? Lay back down. Lay down. You're fine. All right. Anyway, back to they have this $1 million home. They got back there around 10:22 p.m. The phone's very last known location was the house. 10:22 p.m. Also perfectly aligned with the time that a neighbor tells police that he saw Brad and Suzanne loudly arguing. That's the way he put it. That was the quote from the police report. Loudly arguing and in a physical struggle in the front yard before Suzanne took off running towards the woods with Brad right behind her. And then he says he heard a scream. The neighbor says he heard a scream. And that same neighbor would also report that he heard Brad's truck leave, and that was around an hour later, and then return an hour after that. Authorities also note in the affidavit that Brad's phone was not very helpful to detectives because it had apparently been intentionally turned off and then on and off right around that time, allegedly to prevent it from collecting any data. So that was the night that Suzanne went missing. And judging by the evidence authorities say they have that's in the affidavit, the next day doesn't look much better for Brad's case either. The next morning, Brad's truck was seen dropping his daughter off at a child care center and then also at a Whataburger. Both places, of course, have security cameras, and that footage revealed really some very, very interesting items in the back of Brad's truck. And while not necessarily proof of a crime, just use your imagination here, okay? I use the word interesting, but it's pretty damning because here's what was back there. 3 trash bags, a large heavy-duty trash bin, an ice chest, and get this, there was also a large, bulky item wrapped in a tarp with a firewood rack on top of it to hold it down. Those 2 stops were both made before a stop to Home Depot. How many times, you think about this, have we seen something like this play out before where there's Home Depot involved? I can think of several cases just like this. So using cash, of course, Brad buys 2 bags of cement, a bucket, a box of heavy-duty trash bags, a bottle of Clorox disinfectant spray, and he also buys some bug spray. And then he moves on, and his next stop is the dump. And then when Brad goes to pick up his daughter from daycare, surveillance video actually shows the blue tarp and the firewood rack. They are no longer in the truck. Brad makes one more stop after the daycare. He goes to a car wash where he can be seen. He's like cleaning the driver's side and also the front seat and the passenger left side. Now about 4:35 p.m., the day after Suzanne Simpson was last seen, Brad sends a text to a man named James Val Cotter. And Cotter and Brad, by the way, they've been friends for like 25 years. And in that text, he writes, if you are in Bandera, can you haul ass and meet me at your house? I don't have much time. And then Cotter says that he will be there in 40 minutes. And then Brad replies, okay, make sure.
Okay, we don't know all this. I've been through all this. I'm not gonna. I mean, sure, maybe I should have played that instead of reading it all. We've been through all that, so there's no point going through it all again. Right. So it looks like there's a pre-trial conference on the 1st of April. So the one on this Thursday, I imagine, is just a hearing, and then the trial is set for April. Or it might be set some point in April if everything's in order. Hang on. So we got plenty of time before then. That's not very helpful to me. I don't know what her age was, Dave. I don't know. She had a daughter at the time who was 20 years old, if that helps, but I don't know what her age was. Hang on. Let's have a look at this then. This was him in court last month. This was his last appearance in court.
Valdez. Frank Gilbert Valdez. Bond for 15. 2024 CR 012094. State versus Brad Chandler Simpson. 2024 CR 0. Okay, 2024 CR 012097, 2024 CR 012095, and 2024 CR 012094. State versus Brad Chandler Simpson. Will the lawyers please state their names?
Casey Sandoval for the state of Texas and Michael Bianria.
Stephen Gilmore, Tanya Rivera, and Brittany Durham for Mr. Simpson.
Okay, yes, sir. Are you Brad Chandler Simpson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, let's see, to the parties. I have here that today we were scheduled for pre-trial hearings. And then we were scheduled for a docket call on February the 13th of 2026. And then jury selection on February the 17th, 2026. So what's the state say on that?
Judge, the state has two motions. The first one is regarding that trial date. We do have a motion for continuance for the court to consider. And you need a copy, Judge?
I have a copy.
Okay. And the reason we're asking for that, Judge, is the discovery deadline in this case was in September 2025. And just the sheer volume of discovery that's been given to the state, most of it was completed by September 1st, but we've gotten waves of more evidence over time. And it is, of course, that the state has a duty to review all of that evidence, and we've been diligent in doing that. But the volume has made it just to where it's impossible to complete that by the February trial date. So I'm asking the court for a 60-day continuance to complete that review so that we can be diligent in reviewing that evidence to prepare for trial.
Okay, and defense?
Judge, given that I'm entitled to receive the discovery and have to review it before I can provide Mr. Simpson effective assistance at trial, while I can't agree to the continuance, I understand the state's position in the remaining side.
Okay, then, in light of the fact that you're getting more discovery and the defense still needs to review that, like you said, provide an effective assistance to counsel, I'm going to grant the state's motion for continuance on all three cases. And so that's approximately 60-day reset. Does the state have anything else, or does the defense have anything else?
We have one more request, Judge, and that is simply to set a hearing on forfeiture by wrongdoing. We're requesting a 3849 hearing in this case before trial to have the court determine whether certain statements of Suzanne should be admitted over the defense's objection.
Okay, and do you, Counselor, have you had an opportunity to review and reply to that motion?
I've had an opportunity to review the motion. I haven't had an opportunity to reply. Vince is opposed to that motion and will file a written response.
Okay, so file your written response so I can review it and then make a determination as to whether or not we're going to go forward on that state's motion. And then is there anything else for the defense?
Judge, I'm conferring with the state. We've requested personnel files for 3 of the officers involved in this investigation. Chief Fidel Villegas, Melissa Campbell, and Jesse Perez. My understanding is that the state is unopposed to subpoenaing these records and turning them over to the court for in-camera inspection, or upon the court may determine any items in those records that are relevant and Brady, and will be turned over to defense and state under protective order.
At state?
Yep, we are unopposed to that motion, Judge.
Okay, so given that the state is unopposed in any way, the typical procedure would be for those files to be produced for the court for an in-camera review. Just because they're produced doesn't mean that they're going to be admissible, of course.
Of course.
And then once I review them, we'll make a determination as to whether there's any Brady or impeachment material in those files. Now, the state, are you going to issue subpoenas for those records and allow the city attorneys for those? What jurisdictions are they?
Almost Park, City of Converse, Bexar County Sheriff, and the Texas Department of Public Safety.
Okay, so just serve those subpoenas on those parties, and I imagine we're going to have a hearing because they're going to come in with the records and potentially file the motion to quash. At least that's what's happened in the past. And so we'll wait for that to happen. As soon as those parties reply, then what we'll do is I'll set a hearing on that issue only. Okay. And as soon as they do it, then we'll have a hearing on that matter. Anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state at this time, Judge.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Okay, so for now, the trial is continued, and then we'll move along as best as we can. As soon as I get the audio files, my understanding is some of them may be very large files, is my understanding, and so depending on that, then we'll decide how much time I need to review them, whether they are admissible or not, certain parts, and then we'll schedule a new scheduling order. But let's try and do it as a scheduling order, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
That closes the record on this case.
Okay, so that's the gist of this case anyway, so you can all see that, which we'll try to cover, but it's going to be April by the time it comes around. Right, I'll end the stream there, but right, so news for you. For those of you who want some background noise, I will continue to stream, but on another stream. So I'm going to cover for the next 2 days, maybe 3 days. I'm going to cover a trial that already happened. It happened last week, and I suspect none of you have seen it. I suspect none of you have seen it, but it has occurred already. So if you went to Google it, you'll know the verdict. So you'd spoil it for yourselves. But I'll play it because it's already happened. I know none of you have seen it. So I thought I'll do that. But I need a second just to set the stream up, obviously. If you're in, you're in. If not, then, tough titties. So it's fine. It's not a Georgia trial, so I bet you haven't. It's in another state. I guarantee none of you have seen it. But you are nosy bitches, so I can't 100% guarantee that. So what I'm going to do is set it up now. I'll say a play over the next 3 days. So I'll play openings on day 1 today. And then it'll be done by Wednesday, essentially. So I'm just making it now so that we can rock it. We can rock it. Right, let me. No, I don't like that photo. I need to get a photo for my thumbnail. Then I'll set it up. And then we'll whisk ourselves over there. Set as background. Then I need to get my logo. And then I'll set the actual stream up then. I just got to do a thumbnail first. I just spotted it and I was like, you know what? These nosy bitches want something, so I'll give them something. So, as I say, it is an old one. So, Dave, if you're still here, don't grumble. Or Dave, if anyone's seen it, it might be Dave because he is somebody that might have seen this. Okay. Right, let me just get this ready. I can't see the chat, so I don't know if you're all saying something because I can't watch you now. I can't watch you. Bam 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 bam. Having such a good time. I'm lying to you all. Don't stop me now. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Don't stop me now. Don't stop me. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Beep, 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 beep. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Right, I am just setting it up now. Okay, let me get. Oh, wrong one. Shit. I need to go on StreamYard. Sarah P. Sarah P is lovely, said no one. Sarah P is lovely, said no one. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba da da da. Beep dee dee dee. E musica. Pa, para, pa, para, pa, para, pa, pa. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, pa, para, pa, pa, para, pa, para, pa, pa. Pa, para, pa, pa. Just nearly done it, ladies and Dave Badaza. Two Daves. We're working towards it. We're nearly set up. The chat is impatient, but they're full of. I was going to say sluts, but I won't call them that disgusting name. Because Badaza's the same. Right. Okay, we're nearly there, ladies. A little bit of patience. Normally I'm a lot quicker than this, but dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Right, I'm just doing it so that I can send you all over there. Oh, 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 oh. Do, 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 do. Hippie chick, roll me a doobie. Bum, 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 bum. Right, that's done. I just need to do this and we'll be done, people. Dee, 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 dee. Sarah P. P, 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 Sarah P. Josie. Sarah P. On OnlyFansy. Right, we're there. We're all set up. So, staying all that, I'm going to send you all over there. So, let's get you all over there. You should go over there. If not, go to my channel and I'll be there. Hopefully, Sarah P set up all the links already. If not, fuck it. It doesn't matter. So, see you over there. New trial. Well, old trial, but new thingy. It's a kidnapping case. See you there or be square. Peace.